school villain.
My favorite girl's a ginger in a private shoe. I ask and I come see it, but she always tells me no. If you wanna make it rain, girl, I'll make it so. But every time I ask her, she says that I can't go. I know I love her, but I know I'm not the only one. When the party's over, she'll let me leave when all the fun's done. My favorite girl's a rider at a rodeo. I ask if I can see her, but she always tells me no. She says I pick around whenever she feels low. I ask if we could chill, but she'd rather be alone. She'd rather be alone. She'd rather be alone. She'd rather be alone. I know I love her, but I know I'm not the only one. When the party's over, she'll let me leave when all the fun's done. My favorite girl's an actress at the picture show. I asked her for some tickets and she always says no. Protect my heart and I'll protect your soul. Loving her's an art and I'm a crime, so I know I love her, but I know I'm not the only one. When the party's over, she'll let me leave when all the fun's done. Nobody's gonna love me like you do. It's your voodoo, and I'm so amazed. Resurrect me from my grave. You love me, I'm your slave, but that's what you do. We can not be in love. No boundaries, your love surrounding me. Love's not a game, but I win it all because I got you. It's all about you, yeah. Be not ashamed, 'cause I love everything about you. I'm attuned to you. We can not be in love. No boundaries, your love surrounding me. Needle in the haystack, you found me. Balanced on my chakras. I'm grounded, I'm locked on my lockers. Astounded by what love can do when I'm loving you. No boundaries, your love surrounding me. 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 I'm just a magician, looking for some loving. Hoping you'll give me a chance. I wanna join your coven. We can do a ritual. The man right here, everything mystical. You mind if I lick you slow? Without you, I've been miserable. I guess I need some company. I need my women crush when they humping me. Call your girlfriends, now they jumping me. Open his portals, guess it's up to me. Set your intentions. You can do it all while sitting on my face. That's just how we like it right there. So you already know what to do. Like the video, of course. Share the video, of course. And if you haven't subscribed, don't subscribe until you watch the whole video. And after you like the video, feel what I got to say, subscribe after that part. But not a moment too soon. How are y'all doing this evening? I'm the Hood Mystic, also known as Kyrie Anthony. I'm an astrologer, I'm an author, I'm a spiritualist, psychic, magician, father, husband, playboy. Um, yeah, do a lot of different things out here. But more or less, I'm a lover of life, love my children more than anything. And yeah, I'm living for them in 2023. Just want to educate people into the science of herbal healing, shadow work, astrology, chakras, make some of this stuff a little bit more understandable and plain. I'm here to really redirect the energy back to you, your DNA, your ancestors, your spiritual gifts, because I am a firm believer that the inside creates the outside. In reference to this new moon that we're going to be talking about, it is in reference to tapping into the internal energies, but at the same time, it is also a realization of the physical material world. And if y'all with me for the one time or the two time, put some ones in the chat if money is funny and change is strange all of a sudden, right? Is there a weird energy with money, or is y'all like, living in the money, you know? And it's not to be in some lack of prosperity teachings and things of that nature. Let's just keep it real one time, two times on the chat. Is the money situation a little different? 2023, not to date this episode. Well, we are talking about a specific new moon in Cancer, and trust me, it all figures into a reality, right? Is the money funny and is the change strange in this Joe Biden America? Shout out to y'all, man. It's very weird, Carlette. Shout out to y'all. Tay said it's weird. I'm a mystic in the chat. She said it's weird too, right? Shamika said it's weird. Okay, so let's not be weird with the energy. Let's call a spade, right? Because if y'all can bear witness to the ones in the chat, maybe you won't feel so bad that you posting ads on Backpage again. All right. Maybe you won't feel so bad that you gotta move back in with your mama because it is the signs of the times. And one of the major messages that I got from Spirit over this week is that you cannot do it alone, but you gotta do it, right? So many times you can say, "Oh, Hood, I couldn't do it alone, so that was my excuse not to do it." Oh no, that's not the particular energy we working in on 2023. You gotta get with the team, right? And the team is a hard thing to really dissect and digest because people are shady, people are crazy, people are weird, people are not doing shadow work at all. People are triggered, people are traumatized, and if you start talking about the wrong thing, they telling you to be quiet. They don't want to hear that shit and things of that nature. So, in reference to choosing people, we have to deal with our inner understanding. So, yeah, all of the shit that I be talking about in reference to astrology, chakras, shadow work, we're all talking about the inner world, right? And people say, well, how can all of these things be a part of the inner world? And then I say, wait, hold up a second. Let's talk about the outer world. If I said that it was a house, you would say, okay, I understand that it's a house. And then I say it's a building.
You say, okay, I understand it's a building, and then I say it's a tree. You like, wait a second, man. Why you talking about all of this shit in the outer world? And I would say, nigga, you have no idea. I just told you three things. It's countless of shit in the outer world that you gotta deal with. You gotta deal with scammers, baby mamas, baby daddies. You gotta deal with goddamn all types of shit out here in the outer world. So you can bear witness to the outer world being a multitude of things. So we start dissecting the inner world, and niggas is all of a sudden overwhelmed. Oh, hood, I can't take it. First, you go from chakras, and then you go to shadow work, and then you deal with astrology. No, I can't deal with this no more. You done passed over 1,000 houses in the midst of your drive-ins, and you didn't say, I can't take looking at another house. You deal with the multitude of the outer world, but somehow we get into the intricacies of the inner world, the metaphysical understandings of things. Now niggas is just conflated and confounded, and oh, they're in such a kerfunkel, like kerfuffle rather. But the reality is, oh, you better just sit the fuck down, grab a pen and a pencil, right? And get some understanding about this shit, right? Because man, I go to a bookstore every Wednesday. You know why I go to a bookstore every Wednesday? Because is more books in that bookstore that I will never ever get a chance to read as long as I live. That's why I can go to the bookstore every Wednesday and find a new book, might buy a new book, might sit there and read a couple pages out of a book. Who knows? Meaning that when we deal with the intricacies of life, black people, y'all need to start learning shit, especially metaphysical things. You need to begin to get a real healthy dialogue about metaphysical concepts without you feeling overwhelmed by the subject matter. Because at the end of the day, we all want to manifest things. We all want to live a substantial or significant material life. And the facts that we get in our ass kicked is not a proxy of society and the way of life beating you down. No, that's not what's happening. The reality is that there's a metaphysical reality that applies to your black ass. And if you just say, well, I don't need to learn that shit because my ass is special, you'll get your ass handed to you and you'll be wondering why things ain't happening the way that you need it to happen for you. And the reason why is because there are laws to this shit. There is understandings of this shit. It deals with a multitude of concepts that you have to understand, separate, and in reference to spirituality, niggas just love saying buzzwords, right? And in spirituality, let's deal with the irony of the situation, right? Let's deal with the irony of the situation. Say for instance we was doing anything else besides spirituality. Say for instance if we was collecting Pokemon cards, and you could bear witness to having a Pikachu card and an electric eel card, and everybody would differentiate the different Pokemon cards. And the motherfucker just wouldn't come into the cipher saying, well, you know, Pokemon, 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 Pokemon. I got a Pokemon card. We would look at him and say, nigga, you just can't. Every card is not a Pokemon. It's a variation to each and every card. So when we deal with spirituality, there are 77 tarot cards. And each and every tarot card has a different inflection, a different variation, a different path. But yet and still, it's another level of spirituality that I feel like a majority of people come across, and it's called spiritual laziness, where the mere fact of watching a fucking video is going to bring you into some psychic, spiritual revelation. How do I know? It's millions of videos of millions of people, if not billions of people, getting some type of thinking that they're gonna get something from press and play on YouTube, and will bear witness to, yeah, I listened to this video and I manifested this, and this. Because the reality of 2023 and these cellular phones and cellular devices have tricked and got people to thinking that you could just do it. And it's just like carefree. I'm saying buzzwords, energy, universe, toxic, and yeah, everything is gonna work out. But then when life hits you in the motherfucking head, you fall square on your ass. Right now, you want to blame the information. You want to blame the people that's telling you the information. When if you ever met a nigga on YouTube that had the most profoundest information that you ever heard. And once you heard this nigga's voice, you started levitating off the ground. Guess what? It still wouldn't absolve you of doing the fucking work of who the fuck you are, what's your purpose in this thing. And this is the crux of my conversation. You know what to do. You don't need me. You don't need nobody spiritual. Now, you may think you do, and you may feel that there is a real thing that's happening between you and a spiritual person. And the reality is this: your DNA was going to activate and lead and guide you to where you would need to go to, regardless of anything. What we need to bring our minds into an understanding of is when we start to fear, when we start to doubt, when we start to misunderstand, when we stand in confusion, when we separate ourselves from our mind, right? One of those main words would be psychosis, right? To separate yourself from what you actually are and what you're actually supposed to do. So it's a very natural and normal thing to know what you want to do, but it's also a normal and natural thing to be completely misled because you don't even understand the value of who you are and what you're able to accomplish in the future. So when we deal with the new moon, we're dealing with a time to set a specific intention in alignment with what we want out of life. And the issue is we think we know what we want out of life, especially when we operating from the ego. So this becomes to be one of the biggest oxymorons in the spiritual community because at one level everybody is telling you to set an intention. At another level, you setting an intention and you know you ain't even going to manifest that shit. You know you're not even going to put the effort. You know you got shit going on already that's going completely null and void what you intended. So it'll just be like a like just noise at a certain point. So I come to do this video to just stop with the noise and stop with the rhetoric and hopefully bring you into a sense of alignment and understanding based upon information, not based upon, making you feel good or just saying, shit that niggas have already said and calling it spirituality because you can regurgitate and you can look the part and you can act the part. And what I've like been getting and pulling from the ethers is that people have it hard, but people also have it easy. People also have it easy. And the reality is that it's a lot of control and it's a lot of witchcraft. But I want to look at this chart though so we can begin to talk about the particular energies that I'm noticing and that I'm pulling from the ethers. So where when I look at this new moon, I look at this new moon as a very cyclical thing, and in reference to a real strong hex and a real strong spell that is being worked through, that is being moved through in people's lives and people's energy fields. Now, it's many different spells that many different families have incurred through different bloodlines, through different packs, through different things that you personally may not even really even know about. You might not even understand. But at the same time, when these spells get lifted, it's almost as if it's like bad. And it's the reason why it feels bad because you don't have training wheels no more. You don't have the support of the spell keeping you in a zombified state. And a lot of the spiritual things that you have taken part of have been nothing but spell work and ritual work into stealing and taking your energy. None of these people have poured into you. None of these people have been consistent with you. None of these people are actually your friend. A friend is not an amazing person who comes in your life and saves the day. You know what makes a person your friend? Their consistency to show up for you. Like in your life, your friends are the people who consistently show up for you, right? Your best friend is the person who shows up for you the most. This is how we understand companionship. Now, spirituality is a warp of that, where this is the reality. We're all equal under God. Anything that you receive in this world is a gift, and you need to be grateful for everything that you receive. When you deal with spirituality in combination with an ego, you might feel like you need more than other people. You need to do better than other people. So when it comes to exploiting a person who has a soul within themselves, you say, like in any reading that I ever do, any spiritual work that I ever do, I'm only mirroring what's happening with you. This is why, and people like, I'm so crazy with this shit. I could have met you yesterday. You could have told me about your whole life story. I'll see you the next day. I won't even know your name. I won't know your face. And it make me look crazy. This is not even a brag. This is some shit that literally makes me look crazy because the motherfucker be looking at me like, you don't remember me? And I'll be like, no, I don't remember you. Meaning that I'm not tuned in and tapped into nothing that anybody is telling me. This is more or less of my job. I'm just the reflection of anything that's going on with you. 10 times out of 10, you is not about to like what I got to say because I'm not trying to impress you and ooh and ah you and walla kazam and walla kazoo. Because I'm not under no type of spell, nor do I want to put you under no particular spell work. It works if you work it, and if you don't work, it's not going to work for you. I was telling somebody earlier today, I am only consistent. That's my only thing that I got going for me. I'm only focused and I'm only consistent, and just that's just generally how it goes. That's my superpower. You, on the other hand, probably gonna give up once you face some type of adversity. And it's not even your fault. It's a level of severe spell work in reference to these devices, in reference to these entertainers, in reference to these movies, in reference to the music. Like, it goes on and on and on. It goes deep, 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 deep into severe spell work. So when you have a new moon conjunct Lilith, you have a ways to kind of work through the spell work. So anything that's being taken away from you, anything that you think you don't have, you need to understand that that is the past. What is the future? This is where we get into intentions. And this is the beauty of intentions, right? You can live a life full of intention. And the difference between being intentional is that we don't give a fuck about the past. Now, if y'all can understand that and understand and overstand that, put a one in the chat. Now, I'm going to say it again. And if you can, I need you to really listen to it because this is one of those things that go in one ear and out the other. Because a lot of people say new moon intention, new moon intention. You got to set your intentions. It becomes noise. But it's very important to set your intentions and to live a life full of intention, because when you live a life with intention and you are dedicated to your intention, the past does not matter. And that is a big deal for spiritual people, because 10 times out of 10, they come with a sob story. They come with a woe is me story of some shit where it's like, yeah, I don't give a fuck. I've heard that before. Yeah, it sounds good. Somebody has died. Oh wow. You're sad about it. Oh wow. The world should stop for you because somebody has died that you are close to. Oh wow. I've never heard that before. In all of my years, you're the first person in the world that I've heard of who somebody has died, or you lost your job, or you ain't got no car, or it's hard out here for you. It's hard out here for a pimp too. It's hard out here, period. So, okay, what are we getting to? What's the point? The point is, are you intentional? Are you taking advantage of a new moon and setting your intentions? Because if you dare to set an intention, you're also saying the past don't matter. Do y'all understand that? Because the moment that I talk to you, guess what I'm gonna hear? You're gonna start telling me about what happened a week ago, a month ago, yesterday, an hour ago, and actually that doesn't fucking matter. You're actually telling me that you're not being intentional. One's in the chat if you understand the concept of setting a new moon intention. Why you should be imperative about it, because it's one of two things that you're gonna do. You're gonna be in the devil's playground. What is the devil's playground? The past. The past. Or the future, however you want to play it, but not in the present. And what are you doing in the present? I don't know. Fucking just sitting here watching TV. I don't know what you want to do. I want to do this, hood. I want to do that. What the fuck you doing about it? I need to start an LLC, and I don't know how to start an LLC. You know how to start an LLC? Okay, I start an LLC. Now what? I done did this. I done did that. I done did that. But I ain't really done shit. But I really want to do what I need to really do. Okay, you got to start to, well, how do I get there, hood? I just don't know how to get there. You more fixated on that nigga in the past than you are in reference to the future. But it's not your fault. I know it's not your fault, because I'm old enough to know that black people is not even really this fucking crazy for real. It's a recent turn of events. Like we seen little droplets of, like we would say things like, man, that nigga crazy back in the day. Now is all y'all motherfuckers is done went to the other side, and I don't think y'all niggas ever gonna come back. Spell work. And we look at life from, it's this part, man. I'm gonna do a reel on it. Follow me on IG at the Hood Mystic. It's this part. I was watching this Charleston White interview today. Y'all should watch it on Say Cheese. It just dropped today. He was talking about how he was with Aiden Ross and they was setting him up for a ritual. And he goes to say it was snakes, it was women there, it was all types of stuff. It felt like I was being a part of a ritual. And I'm like, damn right you was a part of a ritual. The new moon is taking place, meaning that these people will definitely do a ritual on your ass. And you would just be there to talk about it. You would be there to absorb the energy. And motherfuckers be like, oh, that's crazy what they doing. No, I really want you to understand, dog. If you not doing rituals and you not understanding the subconscious mind and trying to imprint on your subconscious mind through the use of symbols in unison with new moons and taking advantage of this shit, then you're probably going to be saying, yeah, money is funny out here. I mean, I've been really struggling. Of course. What is your intention in reference to your money? What is your metaphysical game plan? I'm going to work hard, save my money. That's not a game plan. That's some crash dummy shit. And you've been working hard and saving your monies, and you in your 30s. You in your 30s. How much you saved so far? Working hard and saving since you've been working, since you've been 18, because you ain't caught no big break yet. You've been working, living check to check your whole life. It ain't your fault. It's spell work. But at a certain point, it's a reason. We say we want to be rich, we say we want to manifest, but then we don't want to live intentional. Meaning that if I say my intention is to be rich, then I'm going to commit to that. And it ain't that hard because motherfuckers is actually rich around you. The world's not going to stop when you become rich. And the hardest lesson that I've learned this year, 2023, was going to SAU, going to Florida, being at that hotel, having the most amazing time of my life, but then realizing that, oh nigga, it's a whole other side of life that you want to experience and you're not experiencing. You got to figure that part out. So it wasn't to, work harder, it was to work less and study metaphysics. And I could actually show y'all some shit in reference to how powerful that is. Ever since I came back from, I'm gonna show y'all in real time. And this is not to brag, trust me. I'm not bragging. It's not even nothing really to brag about because y'all make more money than this. But I'm just going to show you since July till now, none of this was like this on this goddamn Substack. Everything is going up. Far as me, all I was doing was studying metaphysical, financial concepts, journaling about it, taking my journal notes, putting it into written form, uploading it on my Substack, and people started subscribing. Mind you, people was not subscribing when I was posting about astrology. And I'm not even mad at y'all. I'm not in the process of making niggas subscribe to my Substack. But what I did, like, peep the shit that I'm telling y'all. When I stopped, and mind you, up until this time, I was trying to get niggas to subscribe to my Substack. They were not subscribing to my Substack. I went to Florida. I said, there's nothing that I can do but understand the metaphysics of money. That's all I could do at this point. Everything that I'm doing is not fucking working. In reference to, yeah, I can pay my bills. Yeah, I can live quasi comfortably, but I want to go to Florida. I want to get a hotel room. I want to travel to other places besides Florida. I want to go to New Orleans. I want to go to California. I want to go to fucking Colombia. I want to travel the motherfucking world. And you need money to do that. And that's fine. And I know that I'm not going to be able to work hard into it. But I do know I understand spirituality. What did this what did I learn in the process of spirituality and money? What I learned is that when you are serious about your intentions and your spirituality, the money comes. So, this is just a month worth of work. I got a lot more reflections and understandings in reference to metaphysical concepts that seriously work in multiple ways that I can't even begin to explain to y'all in this fucking video. I'll try to explain it in my new book, but it's not even going to be a big book. It's going to be like a simple ebook because in reference to the shit that I've been really just learning and understanding. I've been here before, but this time I'm like, I really need to listen. I've studied and I've read the books before, but this time I really gotta listen because I really want it. right? I really, really want it. And then it's like, okay, you can have it, but you're not going to get it the way that you think you're going to get it. You're going to have to understand the spirituality. You're going to have to understand these metaphysics. And I'm like, okay, I can do that because I've been doing it already. But my problem is I've been trying to do it and trying to get it at the same time. And Spirit said, you can't do that. You're going to have to just trust and have faith and live in accordance with your intention. And when you live accordance with your intention, you get instructions. And those instructions are very strict instructions. It's called focus. And focus is not doing a bunch of shit at a bunch of different times and having a crazy schedule and different apps and different people and different jobs. And because that's what the online 2023 e-commerce, Instagram, instant gratification energy will pull you into. And it'll have you doing a whole bunch of nothing and you ain't getting shit in return. So the biggest thing you can do with this new moon is focus in on your DNA because you already know what to do. You sincerely, intrinsically know what to do. Your biggest problem is your emotions and feelings that's separating you from the part of you that you already know what to do. How could you not know what to do already when your body have already gave you 10 fingers and 10 toes? Gave you a mind, gave you a heart, gave you a nose, gave you some lips. And what you doing with those lips? One's in the chat. What you doing with those lips? Are you speaking your truth? Are you doing something else with those lips? What y'all doing with y'all lips tonight? You supposed to be having a spiritual conversation. Y'all like Hood Mystic and chill. You want to come over and watch this Hood Mystic video with me? What are you talking about, lips? You want to find out what he talking about? Look at this. You watching this video and done fell into some goddamn ass. All that I'm asking you to do is subscribe to my goddamn Substack. For as little as $5 a month, you could go end this whole thing by a whole payment of 55. You get updated for the whole year. Metaphysical concepts that is going to take you to a whole nother level. They already taken me to another level. I cannot even lie or cap to you. But at the end of the day, the more you listen to my videos, the more in alignment you get with getting some ass. I've been doing this for a while now, right? And the Substack subscription just expedites your access to quality vegine. So when we look at this new moon, I'm gonna look at this chart one more time. It's right at the cusp of sidereal, Cancer, and Leo. Now, in Vedic astrology, it's not called the cusp, it's called the Gandanta. And a Gandanta is Sanskrit for not at the end of the portion. So when you look at Cancer and you look at Leo, and you also deal with the third deacon of Cancer, this deacon is centered in luxury. This deacon is centered in wealth, but you also have your emotions. So you deal with your true emotions, your real sincere emotions. And it's like that meme, you're not ugly, you just broke, right? And Leo is more of like a very present, a very successful, a very integrated energy, very at home with being in the spotlight. So where you look at Cancer and Leo, it's much more of being that true version of yourself. It's that part of you that's not broke, right? It's that part of you that's not, pinching pennies. It's that part of you that's not saying, man, I ain't got it. It's that part of you that got it. It's that part of you that can fucking travel wherever the fuck it wants to travel. And you need to just be acting like, well, I'm gonna just always be this way. You need to like open your eyes and realize that motherfuckers is catching planes every fucking day. all over this bitch. Motherfuckers is getting on them damn planes, man. Can we get an airplane emoji? You could be on them goddamn planes too. If other people is taking planes, why can't you be on the plane? The issue is not that you're not working hard. The issue is not that you are not fucking good enough. The issue is that you don't trust and you're not intentional because the conscious or the devil or the ego, it has you living in the fucking past. You live in the past so much so that you just say fuck being intentional. If only you were intentional, if only you were aligned to say, I want to be rich, I want to make money, I want to travel, I want to catch a fucking plane. You think that's a fucking sin? To say, oh, I want to catch a flight. Did you order it in advance? No, I want to catch a motherfucking flight tomorrow. When you coming back next week, I'm gonna come back tomorrow. So you gonna catch a flight the same day, there and back the same day? You know how expensive that is? Yeah. I don't give a fuck. Well, what you doing? Whose dick you sucking? What you doing? You joined the Illuminati? No. I'm just intentional about my shit. I'm intentional about my wealth. I'm intentional about getting to the fucking bag. Because the other shit, y'all can have it. Now, you gotta really look at your shit. You gotta really look at yourself and say, damn, self, damn, what the fuck? Is that what it is? Have we just refused our intention? We refuse to live intentionally. We've been just chilling in the past like that shit about to happen again. Where have y'all bear witness a year happening again? When have y'all bear witness a day that has happened happen again? This ain't no fucking movie. It ain't a movie like that. If some shit happened yesterday, that shit happened yesterday. It ain't gonna happen again. Unless you could get the gist of how this shit works. Once a day is done, the day is done. Right? And the day don't revert back into it's Thursday again. No, Thursday is over. Tomorrow is Friday. Let's start with Friday. If the universe is intentional, why ain't your ass intentional? The day don't be like, man, Thursday, we kicked it, bruh. We gotta do that shit again, my nigga. We gotta do it again. Same club, same time. What happens when you do that? What happens when you go to that good ass restaurant that you went to? It was so fucking good. You go again. What happens? The club that you had so much fun to the first time, you go the second night, it ain't as fun as it was the first night. Niggas is extra creepy all of a sudden. Niggas touching all on your ass, you walking through the dance floor. Y'all wasn't like this the first day. What's happening? We look at shit how it first happened, and then we just kind of either expect it to happen again, and then be so fucking surprised that it don't happen again, and y'all be like, damn, I don't even understand. This whole fucking world is smoke and mirrors. So if you ever get caught up in a loop or a cycle, just trust that you're not being intentional with your own shit. Cause if the universe operates in a certain type of way, why wouldn't you operate in a certain type of way? If the food was good the first time, take it and run with it. If the club was fun the first time, take it and run with it. If the nigga was cool the first day, take it and run with it. Don't double back. That's when you start looking like a goddamn asshole. So it's like in this spiritual journey, man, I've been really dealing with a lot of breakthroughs and understandings, mainly because I have been getting back to the basics of shit. And it's like, it's cringe for me. I'm gonna be honest, man, because sometimes I would just be reading shit and just be reading shit like an observer of some shit that I was better than, like I understood it or I've grasped it, but I wasn't applying it. I was just reading it like I'm some fucking overlord, king, bishop, or some shit. Man, I ain't got two fucking pennies to rub together and shit. You know, I'm one goddamn bad day from posting the ad on Backpage. Like I seen the Hood Mystic on Backpage selling ass. I ain't even gonna lie to you. I was at the fucking gas station today. A nigga told me I was cute. I said, what the fuck is happening out here? I ain't been to the barber shop in a month. This nigga talking about I'm cute. I'm about to post on Backpage. I think I still got it. But at the end of the day, I'm saying all of this to say, it was a long time that I fucking would study some shit and not apply it. Look at some shit and be like, that's very interesting, and go back to sucking, right? I know my shit is working if niggas is out here telling me that I'm cute, because I'm 38 years old. I'll be 39 years old in about fucking 7 in a week. I'll be fucking 39 years old, and a nigga never called me cute before until today. That's because I'm applying these goddamn metaphysical concepts on your ass. You feel me? This shit is changing, right? Shit is changing for me, right? What you talking about, man? I was telling my girl this earlier. I will fucking. It don't matter to me. Cause I love pussy so much, I will make a nigga think all types of shit about me. I don't care. It would be like, good, you can't say that. Why not? It make you think something, don't it? I don't care what the fuck you think. Spend your whole life thinking about shit. Think I give a fuck? I'll be deep diving in some pussy. Why nigga be like, oh man, you said a gay joke. You damn right. You gotta get used to me. Like, I'll make a motherfucking gay nigga start questioning this shit. Like, man, am I even gay? What the fuck is happening here? I'm starting to like pussy. What happened? I'm around hood too goddamn much. You got me motherfucking up on these hoes. Like, man, this nigga is something else. Yeah, I'm a one of one. I'm very different and unique. And I don't like to be pigeonholed or put in a box. So I let people think what they need to think in that particular moment. You feel me? He said I was cute. I'm like, thank you. Ow. Like, oh, give a fuck, you know? I take it all in stride, baby. We only here for a little bit. It's like a ride, you know, it's like a roller coaster, actually. You get caught up on one part of the roller coaster, you missing the whole thing. It's ups and downs, corkscrews, all types of shit. Feel me? But at the end of the day, trust and believe. If you would just simply apply the shit that you got on your fucking bookshelf, if you stop reading that shit thinking that that shit is deep and cool, oh, this motherfucker put out a book, I'ma buy it and not read it. If you just simply apply this shit, it's motherfucking teas in y'all books. There's goddamn formulas, alchemy, formulations, all types of cool shit. Not applying it. And once again, if you don't apply it, and I'm the most well spoken, thought provoking motherfucker in the world, my videos don't mean shit to you. But if I'm sitting here talking bullshit, kicking the hundreds with you, talking shit about your mama, all types of cool shit with you, and you leave this video like, man, that nigga hood funny, I'm about to apply some shit. Guess what? I'm doing more work than any of these motherfuckers because I at least get a nigga to apply the magic that's happening versus motherfucking thinking that I'm special. Cause at the end of the day, ain't on none of you niggas tombstones. I used to watch Hood Mystic videos. At the end of the day, you would hope that you followed your fucking DNA. You would have hoped you would have followed your soul. And how would you say, well, I'm following my soul? In plain terms, you would say, I'm living intentional. How would you know that you was living intentional? You would set intention, right? You would set your intention, you would live your intention, and you would represent what your intentions entail. Doing this spiritual work for so long, that'd probably be the hardest shit that a nigga ever do. Cause when it come down to y'all work, when it come down to y'all fucking baby daddies, that's all you wrote for a nigga. A nigga is going to do one of two things. Gonna get a fucking job or gonna get a baby daddy. Period, point blank. And once you start dealing with the job, that's 40 hours a week. At what point do you feel like you can give a person 40 hours of your fucking life and you have enough time for anything else when you gotta sleep for another fucking 40 hours? That leave a whole nother 40 hours for what you gonna do. Drive to work and eat. And then you gotta spend time with your baby daddy. That's it. You have no more time to do nothing. So you're gonna work and you're gonna fuck your whole life away. When we start talking about setting intentions and living intentional, you gotta check with some dusty ass nigga that you call your baby daddy first, and it do not work like that. We talking about your DNA. We talking about your fucking life's purpose. And the ancestors do not like that nigga. They don't like him. This is why shit is the way that it is. Right? You care more about him or her than you care about your damn self. So the Ashleisha Nakshatra is symbolized by a serpent. So when we see Hindu, right? Hindu Vedic is 5,000 years old. Okay? Hindu Vedic is 5,000 years old. So before a motherfucker opened up a Christian Bible, he done seen the Hindu Vedic. So we will understand the serpent to be what it is before we start writing a Bible. The only people that don't know that the serpent is DNA is the fucking children. So when your kid ass go in fucking Sunday school and they start talking about the goddamn serpent and Adam and Eve, you be actually thinking it's an actual snake, right? But they didn't just create the snake because they was talking to God one day. They was reading the fucking Bhagavad Gita and the Rig Veda and the fucking ancient Hindu Vedic texts. So the Hindu Vedic text is not going to just be saying a serpent this and a serpent that. They'll basically say, well, the serpent is going to be around here like being a serpent, but we not actually talking about no fucking serpent. We talking about our DNA. Okay, I can understand that. Because why would they be talking about our DNA? Because everything we talking about spiritually is metaphysical. And it has to be metaphysical because that's the only way I can talk to a multitude of people. Y'all all got different shit. Some of y'all niggas building houses. Some of y'all niggas is twerking. Some of y'all is pole dancing. Some of y'all is writing books. Some of y'all is starting schools. Some of y'all is lifting weights. Some of y'all doing a multitude of shit. So I can't just be talking about pole dancing the whole fucking video. Motherfuckers that's building houses gonna feel left out of the conversation. So at a certain point, to be real about this shit, we gotta deal with the metaphysics so we can have a conversation. So why would we be talking about a snake? What's the point of talking about a snake? There is no point in talking about a snake. We gonna use the snake to represent the DNA. Now, once we start talking about the DNA, now we all can bear witness to, okay, DNA, let's pay attention to it. Let's understand it. Right? And this is the absolute essence of meditation. This is why in the beginning of the Bible the serpent is there. The serpent is there with Adam and Eve. Like, do you want to eat this shit or not? Motherfuckers like, no, I want to get this pussy and I want to have sex and I want to work this job. Motherfuckers like, okay, that's why in the church and spirituality, motherfuckers gonna be like, well, what's my career? I don't feel like working. I don't feel like doing this. I don't feel like fucking with this nigga. Can you tell me about my love life? All the regular shit that church people talking about. It's the same shit in church is in the spiritual community, believe it or not. You know why? Because none of these niggas is meditating on their DNA. They thinking that if they get a nigga to treat them right, they think if they get a job to give them a raise, they think if they get this money, everything is going to be right. But it's the reverse. You got to get right with the spirit, and then you'll get the money. Then you'll be able to understand it, because you'll be in the realms of attraction. I love everybody, but at the end of the day, if it all went away tomorrow, I'll pick it up and start over again. I don't give a shit. I know myself. I believe in myself. Listen, the nigga at the fucking gas station said I was cute today. I'm riding a fucking ego high off that shit. I must be doing something right. Another term for this nakshatra is the clinging star. Like a clingy lover, when we find something we enjoy, we are likely to attach to it. So and it's very like you gotta get into the energy of faith. You gotta get into the energy of this is what I see for myself, and I don't know how I'm gonna see it, but I'm gonna see it anyway. I'm a cling to it. I'm a attach to it, and I'm a focus clearly on what I want. I know what I want. I'm going to cling to it, and I'm going to get into the DNA of it. I'm gonna get into the inner understanding of it. This is something that I enjoy, something that I love. And usually you can get somebody to support you if you good at it. So what is the one thing that you are focused on during the new moon? We gotta really fixate and focus on like we in 2023. We not in 2022. We not in 2021. We for sure not in 2020. We're not in 2019. We're not in 2016. We're not in 2011. We're in 2023. We're in a whole new energy. And all of this multitude, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that. That shit is over with. If you ain't focused on one thing, just trust that all of the shit that you're trying to do, epic fail. But if you're willing to focus on the one thing, you're going to be guaranteed to be successful. You ones in the chat, if you can understand and understand what I'm saying. If you want to do a multitude of things, they're gonna have a multitude of shitstorms. But if you want to focus in on one thing, you guaranteed to manifest it. Y'all understand what I'm saying? Can y'all vibrate? Can y'all resonate with that understanding? Because to me, this is big. Because the past year's energies, like y'all niggas need to do a whole bunch of shit. And we out here doing a whole bunch of shit. We out here being Cali with fucking forearms, doing all types of shit. We like spirit. Is we doing good enough? They like good job. Then they come around and hit you with the fucking wham like, listen, you doing too much. What you mean I'm doing too much? You doing too much. You got to focus in on one thing. You motherfucker. You motherfucker, you. Had me out here posting on Backpage, OnlyFans, Craigslist. You motherfucker. Spirit be playing, man. So, in reference to this Cancer energy, one of the colors that spoke to me was the color blue. But in reference to blue, blue represents wealth, right? Blue represents the planet Jupiter. Blue represents material things, and I feel like people associate this type of energy with the color green, right? But it's really blue. Blue is the color of water, right? When you think of water, you that's everywhere, right? This world is mostly water. Water and air are basically the same thing. Air is just evaporated water when you start to think about it. So we're inundated with water. The things that we breathe, right? H2O is hydrogen, right? Hydrogen is water. So water is everywhere. So water is representing the energy of money, right? Is representing the energy of Cancer and Jupiter. And these are big, lucky things that are happening. But once again, we're in the realms of metaphysics. This is nothing happening external. And when I was new into my spiritual journey, I would be looking for external signifiers to this particular energy. And maybe I found it, maybe I didn't. But my wisdom now is like, man, all of this is representing what's happening within you, right? Your inheritance is your soul. Your inheritance is your DNA. Your inheritance is the fact that you know what to do at all times because everybody knows what they supposed to do at all times. Even you, our biggest problem, our biggest roadblock is our doubt, our worry, our anxiety, and our psychosis, and our inability to actually bear witness to our inheritance. We be wanting our moms to give us some money, right? We be wanting somebody to do something for us. That's not your inheritance. Your inheritance is your living soul. Your inheritance is your ability to manifest and reflect on your DNA. You have access to that at all times. Nobody can take that away from you. So, one would say, I'm working very hard. I'm busy doing this and doing that. I don't have time to meditate. But boy, I wish I could do this. Boy, I wish I could do that. Man, I really wish I could do that. But I'm working real hard. So I'm giving my time, energy into something that's not helping me live the life that I desire. But I'm hoping that one day I'll eventually live the life I desire without putting no intention towards it. That's what you telling me. So at a certain point, it is cool to meditate, right? And you should always meditate. But if your meditations ain't moving you into acting in alignment with something bold, something that you gotta sit with, you gotta study, you gotta get better with, you gotta put your phone down, you just want it to happen for you. You think by listening to niggas, you think by watching videos, you eventually gonna get there one day? No. It's about, this thing is about you. It's about metaphysics. It's about going beyond the physical. And if you can stay beyond the physical for long enough and understand the principles, you'll begin to receive those rewards. However, it ain't nothing special and it ain't nothing against you. It's what energy are you feeling right now? Are you sad? Are you confused? Are you upset? How are you dealing with that particular energy? Or are you just kind of like cool with the facts of feeling the way you feel, going about things the way you going about, but still looking for something and not realizing that whatever the fuck you looking for, you're going to find it within yourself. But it's an inner world. So one would say, okay, what the fuck are you talking about? Well, let's just use it as an outer world as an analogy. You got to get the fuck home. You always got to get the fuck home. Everybody who's not home has to get home eventually. You can understand that if you're not at home, you got to get home. That's the outer world. Well, what is home in the inner world? Home is your soul. You got to get home. And if you don't know where home is at, you're going to be lost internally. And if you lost internally, you're going to be looking for things externally to deal with the fact that you lost internally. But inside of you is a soul. So this is another word that just noise at this point, because if you're not applying the fact that the soul is within you in real times, reality, like the vibrant colors and energy, the instructions that your soul represents, the luck, infinite wisdom of past lives, y'all be spending all of y'all money on people telling you about your past life and they don't even fucking know. It's not even their life to know. It's your life to know. Right? Don't nobody know your past life but you. So you're not going to sit with yourself to figure out who you were. You're not going to give yourself that time and energy. Fine. But understand that everything that you are plays out in this moment. And it's not about nobody else. As much as we like to think that it is, it's more or less if we're able to focus solely on our consciousness, solely on our soul. And we're not able to do that. So when we're not able to do that, it's somebody that we don't like, it's somebody that we hate, it's a relationship that we started that ended up backtracking on us, and now we hate this person, and all of this shit got to be crazy. It got to be insane. at a certain point. You gotta get, like, once again, when we set an intention, we're letting go of the past and we're committing to the future. In order to commit to the future, you trust yourself. You have faith in yourself, or else you wouldn't even act in a way in your own best interest without trust and faith in yourself. And that's a major key. Because if you demonize yourself, if you break yourself down and you feel less than, and I'm telling you to have an intention and you don't believe in yourself, you're not going to act in your own best interest. What does this look like? Lower vibrational things such as sex, drugs, and food. You dependent on food. If you a young woman that look halfway decent, you dependent on sex. Nobody, like, man, I've been in this shit and it's like, bro, what happened to the spiritual women? What happened to the women that was just concerned with spirituality and spiritual things? I knew for sure I was going to motherfucking be surrounded by spiritual women. Then they all got baby daddies and they all got jobs. When is y'all gonna come back? When is y'all gonna start doing rituals again? When is y'all gonna go back into nature? When y'all gonna quit that job? Start doing some spells and shit like y'all used to do. So we've been in this energy of really doing this work, man, and really learning from the soul, really putting our best effort towards who we are. And the biggest thing is fear, right? The biggest thing is lack of knowing that you're going to rise above all things that are being held against you, because the only thing that's being held against you is your damn self. It's like that meme with the little boy with the goddamn boot on his face. And he damn like, these motherfuckers kicking me on my face. Can't move. And then it pan out a little further and it's his own damn hand with a goddamn boot. That's everybody right now. That's everybody right now. Because understand, it's all one thing. It's not a multitude of things. It's all one thing, and that's where they fucking us up at. That's where they fucking us up. And we can't, and until you able to apply that particular concept of it being all one thing, especially the women, right? Y'all women, like, from what I'm noticing, like, women love priding themselves on being different. Oh, you ain't never had, or it is niggas too though. You ain't never had no nigga like me, baby. You ain't never had no nigga like me. One's in the chat if a nigga ever says some shit like that to you. Right? You ain't never had no nigga like me. Y'all ever heard that before? One's in the chat if you ever heard a nigga say, you ain't never heard a nigga put it down like I put it down, baby. Now I know you probably don't have some niggas, whatever, but listen, one night with me, you ain't gonna never. You ain't never had a nigga like me, girl. You ain't never, right? So what that's basically saying, people motherfucking think that they special, right? And when you think that you special, you automatically outside of the oneness concept because you the one, right? It ain't oneness, right? You the one, right? You the two, you the three, you the four, you all of that, right? And that shit right there, that shit will crumble the most mightiest motherfucker in the world. It's some simple shit that we dealing with. Oneness, wholeness, right? Don't be so special. This is a real jewel. This is a real jewel. Take this. Understand this. Don't be so special that you move outside of oneness. Right? Because that would make you broke. Right? Because the riches in oneness. Like in oneness, that's where all the riches is at. Because it's all one thing. All things are an extension of source and source energy. Even the luxury. Everything that's surrounding you is an extension of source. So there's no difference between a luxurious reality and a dilapidated reality. You're in this bitch regardless. Why live in a dilapidated? And you don't kid yourself. You playing The Sims. Y'all never play The Sims and just be saying I want to have a fucked up Sims house. You never did that. So why live in this matrix and sell yourself short? Listen, I got a mantra. I'm not even gonna tell you my mantra. My wife know my mantra. My girl know my mantra. My kids know my mantra. Nobody like is like niggas know what I'm on every single day. And it's not to just keep shit the same. Motherfuckers know that. I'm motivated to change because my soul tell me it's okay to change. My soul tell me it's okay to operate in a certain type of level. My ego say, "Well, I gotta work hard." My ego say, "I don't know about this. I don't know about that." But my soul say we need to just focus on one thing. My soul say if you just focus on this one thing and don't worry about nothing else, it'll work for you. When you trying to maintain multiple things, you're gonna be looking crazy. That make me feel good. That make me feel okay. I understand now. And when I really get into how I can like move forward, it is through the simplicity of focus, right? Initially focusing on my soul, and then whatever task my soul gives to me, I'll do that, right? With full energy, full focus, and don't worry about nothing else. And, you know, I do worry about like the past a lot more than I should. But, just really getting into the science of intentions, really just sitting with this new moon and really concentrating on it, like really sitting with it, I really feel like this energy is special. This energy is powerful. So, I just was like, I did have other engagements that I had this evening. That's why I was late and I wasn't going to actually do this video. But at the end of the day, doing this type of stuff is part of my intention, right? It's part of me, it's part of my focus. And, you know, my brand is being consistent when everybody else is trying to, scam you to fucking death. Y'all can just come and talk to me. Y'all know I'm gonna be here tomorrow on the same shit. Right? I ain't gonna do too much. I ain't gonna do too little. I'm gonna do what I need to do. Right? But this is part of my focus. This is part of my intention. And I'm just hoping to inspire you to not do so much, right? To not just have a million things on your plate and be feeling like you on top of some shit when that's 2019 energy. That's 2017 energy. When did that song come out? I'm a boss ass bitch. Bitch, bitch. That song ain't out no more. We doing whole different things. We talking about soft life and things of that nature. So the Sabian symbol of this new moon is a Greek muse weighing newborn twins in golden scales. So at a first level is like a is an irony. You have a Greek muse, and a muse would be someone that inspires you to do what you need to do as far as like your purpose, right? And twins on golden scales is like a decision that needs to be made. So you can look at it as multiples of things of whatever you're weighing at this particular time, but in a universal scale, I view it as the reality, right? And the spiritual, or the material world and the spiritual. And in reference to a muse directing you to your purpose, you can't just be in your purpose and not doing nothing. and having nothing, having no motion, right? Like that's not what purpose is about. Purpose is for you to live a good life too. And sometimes when we don't have it and we never inherited it, we think that it's just supposed to magically happen. And that way of thinking, that spiritual way of thinking, have fucked so many black people up, so many black families up, because the time that we was thinking that it was supposed to be happening for us, we could have been putting work towards it, and over time we would have had it, right? But if you didn't do it and you thought some miracle was going to happen, then you surprised at how severe life is kicking your fucking ass, right? Because whoever told you all you had to do was listen to my videos or do some shit that I'm doing or promoting, and everything is going to work out fine. That's cap, right? That's not true. Same way as a motherfucker selling you a Coke is not going to tell you it's the fucking elixir of life. Nigga, you could drink it if you want to, right? But other than that, you better motherfucking take care of your motherfucking kid, right? That's the same way as spirituality should talk to you. Yeah, you can get this reading if you want to. Yeah, you can buy this spiritual product if you want to. But you better learn how to wipe your own ass. Because the better you wipe your ass, the better you do your spiritual work, the more you will live in a level of quote unquote manifestation or higher resonance of life. People call it wealth or whatever the fuck. But at the end of the day, we all have the ability to be wealthy. We know what it takes for us to be wealthy. So please, trust yourself, right? Trust the fact that you already know what it is that you need to do, not to live a life of fucking squalor, not to fucking be paying your bills on time, but to have a life of promise, a life of wealth. And you might say, well, fuck that shit. I don't want to deal with that shit. Understand that that's the ego. It's a spiritual nature that's within all of us that wants us to have certain things. The reason that I know this is because there are human beings on the earth that are already rich, and you have never heard a rich person, you never met a rich person and say, yeah, I was rich. I gave all of that shit up to come live back in the projects with you. Because this shit was so real to me. It was so beautiful living in this fucking gang riddled neighborhood that I said, fuck my estate. I'm going to come live in this fucking Section 8 apartment. Never in your life have you said that. But what you do see is niggas who don't have it do anything to get it. Now, if you know and bear witness that motherfuckers will do anything for some fucking money, right? And you would do anything for some fucking money because you had a fucking job every fucking day, clocking in and clocking out like a hoe, right? The motherfucker telling you what to do and what not to do. You like, yes, sir, no, sir. And you just cool with that shit. At a certain point, we get to a point where we're like, okay, this is the matrix, and I'm in the matrix. I'm a part of the matrix. How do I get out the matrix? You follow your blueprint, and your blueprint will lead you and guide you. And this is really when I deal with new moons, I view new moons as portals, and I've been in many portals. I've went to sleep a broke ass nigga and woke up with some money in my pocket. I've went to sleep with no hoes and woke up with four hoes. Okay, I I've said I woke up broke as shit, went to sleep with a pocket full of money. So I've been inside and outside of portals my whole life, and this is another portal that you can walk through and say, yeah, I'm an ancient nigga yesterday, but I am got my shit together today, and nobody gonna stop you. So, what do you see for you, and what do you know? And trust me, do not be afraid of yourself. Don't doubt yourself. and move with full intention of what you see for yourself, not what you have been. This is a very clear and true way to look at this particular. So, if you want to read more of what I was showing you, click the link in the description that says New Moon article. Subscribe to my Substack. And as I said earlier, I had other obligations that I must attend to. But I did want to stop everything that I was doing in my personal life, right, to share with you guys because you guys are important to me. Really care about our spiritual development, and I want to show up for you in the way that I would like to be shown up for. I really appreciate and love consistency because I figure out a new word for me. I'm an affair baby, right? So I was a baby that was birthed out of an affair, right? So the difference between me is that, I didn't never grow up with the particular balance of masculine and feminine. I had to really figure this shit out. And this is the path that I chose for myself because I'm here now doing what I'm supposed to be doing. And so I figured if it worked out perfect for me, I would have never gave a fuck about going live and talking about this spiritual shit. But I had my ass in such of arrears that to pull my ass up out of this shit, I really had to give thanks and honor to spirit that, I could only pay it forward and hope that you really get in tune to your metaphysics, your spiritual development, man, woman, child, fat, black, skinny, white. You look good. You got a fat ass. You got a BBL. You got a big long dick that you got to carry over your shoulders. You got a miniature shrimp dick. You got big elephant Titus balls. You got a 12, size 12, size 9, size 14, size 2. It don't matter. We all need to deal with our fucking soul, right? No physical thing absolves us. Rich nigga, poor nigga, don't matter. We all need to deal with our DNA because at any moment, what we need to do can change. And if we using the world as our cue, we gonna be fucked up. But if we use our DNA as our cue, we don't got shit to worry about. Already know what to do. I stand on that. If you don't, if it don't work out for you, you can get your money back, right? Whatever you spent on this video, I'll give it back to you, right? Money back guarantee. But first, you gotta at least trust yourself. If it don't work out for you, get whatever money you spent on this video back, full charge. But I'm about to get to what I need to get to. Y'all have a good night, and I'll see y'all on the flip side.